Welcome back to Gamer Sanctuary. It is Sunday, week 5 of the Ora Recentes campaign. This week, we are going to be, all 4 of the games that are going on are going to be 1850 points, but they're going to be 2 different missions on the tables. So our generals are actually deciding which table they're going to send their minions on, and then we'll get our matchups decided shortly. But until we do, I'm going to show you what I have for my force today. I am playing my Harlequins throughout the campaign, so I still have to have them as my core formation. So I have a cast of players with, it's a full squad of Harlequins, so there's 11 Harleys plus my Troop Master Warlord, Fusion Pistol, Harlequin Caress, Haywire Grenades. There are 2 Embraces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Harlequin Kisses, 1 Caress, 2 regular Harlequins, and a Neurodisruptor in the squad. There's a Shadow Seer, level 2, and a Death Jester. Haywire Grenades in here. Actually, Haywire Grenades on both, now I think of it. I also have the Hero's Path formation with the Solitaire with Haywire Grenades, Shadow Seer with Neurodisruptor, level 2, and Haywire Grenades. These are also characters for my campaign as well, and a regular Death Jester. So they are the formation that gets to infiltrate Stealth and Shrouded and cannot join anybody. And then I have the Full Shoes Blade formation as well. So it's 2 squads of Jet Bikes, 2 or 3. There's a Zephyr Glaive in each, and Star Bolus on 2. They all have Haywire cannons, and then a Void Weaver with Haywire cannon as well. And then I have an allied Iandan Eldar detachment. For the required troop choice, I have 8 Dire Avengers and a Wave Serpent with Bright Lances, Shuriken Cannon, and I believe Holofields. I can't remember if Spirit Stones, and then a Nightwing Interceptor as well. But for my HQ choice, I'm taking advantage of the Iandan shenanigan-y stuff and bringing 4 Barebones Spirit Seers as 1 HQ choice. So that is another 8 Psychic Dice, and they are all going to be using telepathy powers. So I have 8 rolls on the telepathy table, 2 rolls on the Phantasmancy table for a grand total of 12 Psychic Power Dice. It's going to be nuts. So 1850 points, we'll see who I'm going to play against, and then we'll talk about the mission after that. I think we've gotten these guys on video before, but if not, we're going to welcome Sage and his High Fleet Chimera force to Fresh Coast Gaming. Sage has been playing with us for a while now, but like I said, I'm not sure if we've actually done a video with him yet or not. I know you've seen him on some of the team games, but this might be the first time we've done a feature with his army. So I'm going to let him tell you what he's got, because I'm still not very comfortable with all the Tyranid stuff. So go ahead.
So we have 15 Hormigons with Toxin Sacks, giving them to wound rolls of 4. We have some Warriors to go with them. They have a Strangle Cannon. We have another 3 Warriors, but they're part of a Bioblast node, which includes 2 units of 2 Carnifexes each, and a single Carnifex in his own unit as well, and a Tyrannofex. The Tyrannofex is going to be deep striking in the Tyrannocyte. We have a Mucilid Spore to help clean up my other troop choice, and we have 1 and 2 Venom Throats sitting there. And to lead the charge, lead the thing, comes in my Hive Tyrant with dual Brain Leech Devourers, flying wings, basic package. It's also got Electroshock Grubs as a template. And last but not least, we have my Exocrine to give some AP2 Strength 7 Plasma that doesn't get hot. So.
Yep. All right. Well, that is your actual Warlord too, right? Warlord. That is your campaign Warlord. Yes.
No, I did not bring.
Oh, you didn't bring that one. Okay. Today. All right, so with my Harlequins, I kind of have no choice but to bring mine every game. So he's been racking up experience. As the game goes on, if we get to talk about any of the upgrades that any of the characters have actually earned, then we'll bring it up then. So we're going to go into get a shot at the table, talk about the mission briefly, and then get started. Here we have a shot of our table. We have 5 objectives on the table. Because that's what we have to for this mission. Now, the cool thing about this is we don't know what each other's missions are. I have my mission, and Sage has his. So we have to put all 5 objectives out just in case one of us has Crusade, one of us could have Emperor's Will, or Purge the Alien. So we roll before the game. I know what I have. He knows what he has. We're not going to talk about it till the end of the game. Objectives are worth normal points for objectives, kill points for that as well. Actually, I'm sorry, no. If you accomplish your primary, you get 5 points. If you accomplish any of the secondaries, you get 2. So you can actually accomplish multiple objectives. And then Warlord, First Blood, Linebreaker are all part of this as well. So we're going to roll off for deployment, get deployed, and then start with turn 1 shortly. Here we are after deployment. Sage has the first turn. He's got his Tyranids all lined up with the little bugs in front to give some cover to the big bugs in the back. Carnifex Brood is here, the Warriors with that Carnifex Brood are here. He's got some Venom Throats nicely spaced out to add to his cover saves. And Hive Tyrant is starting on the ground in the building right there. Meanwhile, I'm going to start with my Spirit Seers and Dire Avengers in there. Jet bikes here, jet bikes there. Harlequins in the building in the middle, and my Void Weaver right there. As for my infiltrators, my Death Jester is hiding out down here where he can't be seen. My Shadow Seer and Solitaire are hiding out underneath here where they can't be seen. They're about 13 inches away and out of line of sight of everything in his army. So we're going to move into turn 1. I'm going to try to seize right now. There is no night fighting. Do I seize? I do not. That's a 2. So Sage has a first turn, and we'll get started. Top of turn 1, Sage's Green Horde kind of just moves forward this way. Almost everything he had was out of range, though. So he didn't get a whole lot of firing against me. The Exocrine is kind of stuck in the building. He's having a hard time getting out of it with move through cover and run moves. He's too big. Yeah, he's just kind of. It's hard to maneuver him in and out of the building. So like I said, everything kind of ran forward here. Hormagaun's fleeted and got a nice 9-inch run to stay in front of the Carnifexes to give him some cover. But the Hive Tyrant took off, came flying as fast as he could over here, got as far as he could, dropped his Haywire Grubs this way, failed the pen. I used my Phantasm Launchers to get the invulnerable save, I made it, and then he hit one of the jet bikes. I made my armor save, and then he shot all the Devourers at the jet bikes. I made 4 of the 5 armor saves against that, so I took 1 wound on the jet bike, and that's it. I took 1 wound in turn 1. So we're going to go to bottom of turn 1, see if I can deal with that beast right in my face. Bottom of turn 1, there are 2 Carnifexes down completely. I took out the 1 squad that was by himself just to get first blood with a Psychic Shriek in the Psychic Face from those guys. I killed another entire Carnifex with a Psychic Shriek, so that squad's down to half strength. I put a wound on the Venom Throat, thank you, and another wound on a Warrior here with some shots from my jet bikes. The Warriors, or my Dire Avengers, did not do much against his Hormagaunts because the cover save they were getting, so Venom Throat is pretty good. You need to take him out as soon as you can. Over here, they just turbo boosted out of the way to stay away from stuff, and again, dropped some more wounds on different guys with Haywire Cannons and Shuriken Cannons. I snap fired the backward Shuriken Cannon on the Void Weaver, and then the Dark Reaper. Not Dark Reaper. Why can't I get this right? Death Jester shot at the Hive Tyrant. Didn't hit him at all, but my squad of Harlequins unloaded on him, dropped him to the ground, so he took a wound, fell to the ground, and then I assaulted him. And because we're playing in a campaign, I would never do this in a tournament. We had a challenge. The Hive Tyrant and my Troop Master had a challenge. I got 1 wound off. I failed to get a single 6 with my Harlequin Caress on 6 dice. And yeah, it was bad. Again, he has +1 attack from bonuses in the campaign, and we're playing in the campaign. When you issue a challenge, it's 1-on-1. You don't get the extra attack spillover because if you read the rules, it's still not very clear. It says you have to allocate wounds into models in the challenge, but it never says you actually get to swing. So correct me if I'm wrong. If you can find a place that tells me that models outside of a challenge actually make attacks, I'll concede that. But as we look at it, they cannot make attacks to allocate wounds into if it's just 1-on-1. So if there are extra models in the unit, sure, those wounds will spill over because I'll attack the unit and they'll spill into the challenge. But in this case, it wasn't going to happen. And like I said, we like the cinematic feel of 1 Harlequin versus 1 Hive Tyrant. Unfortunately, it failed, so his attacks did get to spill into my squad because they're part of it. And my Troop Master was instant killed, and I lost 3 more of my Harlequins, and they broke. They're running away, so that was not good. Anyway, I do have first blood, and Sage has Warlord, so it's 1-1 right now, and we're going to move into turn 2. Top of turn 2, Jared got an awful lot of revenge on me. My Dire Avengers and Spirit Seer bomb is gone because the Exocrine, right?
Yeah. No,
Tyrannifex. Yep. The Tyrannifex used its Flamer template, and I couldn't roll 4 up invuln saves. He killed all but 1 Spirit Seer and 3 Dire Avengers, and the Hive Tyrant finished them all off. Lots of string 6 shots, just insta killed him, so that was terrible. I took a glance and a pen on the Wave Serpent, and it is shaken. Jinx, so it's just going to be turbo boosting out of there to hide. These guys are going to try to regroup. He ignored them, thankfully. The Warriors shot at and killed the jet bike that had 1 wound, and then put a wound on the next one. And these jet bikers got charged. They got shot at first and survived a ton of shooting. I think I only took a single wound again. And then got assaulted by the Hormagaunts. I killed 4 of the Hormagaunts, and it did 2 wounds in return. But So I won the combat. They're fearless. I just hit and ran that way to get ready to charge at the toxic in my turn. So I'm gonna roll. Yeah.
Lost this. And
Oh yeah, I lost the Void Weaver too. Yeah, I lost the Void Weaver. Anyway, we're gonna move into bottom of 2, see if I can get my Nightwing in and drop that Hive Tyrant to take the lead again in points, and then see if I can't get some of my big nasty stuff into combat too. Bottom of turn 2, I tried my best to do some really shenanigan-y stuff, and I'll admit it was real shenanigan-y. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. My jet bike squad over here dropped 5 wounds off the warriors in an assault, which was great, but of course the warriors are fearless, they don't care. These 2 guys killed the venom throat that was giving everyone shrouded in the buildings. That was nice. My Solitaire charged the Carnifex, did 1 wound to him with the Harlequin Caress, and nothing else. It wasn't going to take the 1 swing to try to get an instant death roll. I just didn't think it was worth it. Probably should have though, because it's only 1 swing. The big thing, 2 big things. My Nightwing came in here, I whiffed with one of the Bright Lances, I hit with like 4 of the Shuriken Cannons, and I only managed to wound him once and he jinked it. So the Hive Tyrant is still okay with 1 wound. And down here, I thought I was going to get lucky. This is actually a case where now that I think it didn't really bite me. My Shadow Seer has the Mask of Sorrows, dropping his leadership by 2, and so she cast Laughter of Sorrows. So he made his leadership, rolled the first leadership test, rolled a 10, took 4 wounds, and then rolls the second one, rolls a 6, which is what he needed to get to pass that one right on. So it took 0 wounds from that. She took another wound off of the Neurodisruptor, dropped him to 1. I knew she was going to die if he lived, because he has his Torrent Flamer that streaks 6. So I charged him, survived the Flamer hit, survived the Stinger Salvo, and rolled 3 1s on my attacks, and I got 1 hit through, and it was Fleshbane, so I'm thinking, all right, 2+, I can do it. I rolled 1. So she did do a couple wounds to the pod also with her concussive Nova power, and that's it. So these guys regrouped, took a couple wounds off the Spore here, and that's it. So I have a Carnifex tied him in combat, and Jared's still going to move his way across the board, coming right at me. Turn 3 coming up. Top of turn 3, this was just a weird game. Hive Tyrant goes away that way and decides to shoot back along with the Tyrannocyte Spore Pod. I jinked and took 1 penetrating hit. I lost a weapon on my Nightwing, otherwise he's okay. These Harlequins got charged by the big Spore Pod. I can't remember what it's called, the Mucilid, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I only lost 1 to its big Strength 8 Hammer Wrath hit. He rolled 2 1s to wound, and I made 1 invuln save. That was handy. These guys proved to be mostly out of range. They did Snapfire up here at the Nightwing and didn't do anything. Back into combat. I got the Warrior shot at my Death Gesture and failed. That did not take any damage either, but he is chinking still, and he's peroxide or whatever, paroxysmide. So he's -3. Yeah, so he's only BS1 anyway. Close combat. The Solitaire did 2 wounds on the Carnifex, and he got 1 hit back, but I made my save. Then I hit and ran out into the middle of the pack right there. That Jet Bike has 1 wound left, as well as the 2 in the back here. I did 1 wound to the Tyranids, he did 1 wound back. We drawed combat, so I hit and ran out, and I'm getting ready to throw a Star Bolus at something because I still have it. And that's about it. So we're going to move into bottom of turn 3. Who would have figured that Harlequins are going to get in a slugfest? This game is really turning out to be brutal. I flew my Wave Serpent over here to try to take out the Tyrannofex with some lucky Snapfires. I failed. It's still alive. I did charge at the last Carnifex here, killed it with a wound. My Solitaire charged in and killed 2 of the Warriors and took a wound in return. The Jet Bike, this was the comical part. I had the Jet Bike set up to charge the 2 Carnifexes along with my entire Harlequin squad. I did manage to get Stealth and Shrouded up on them and Perilled at the same time. So my Spirit Seer is down a wound. Shadow Seer is down a wound, excuse me. I needed a 7 to get in there with the Jet Bike. Rolled a 4, failed. Rolled a 5, failed. So Jared was smart. He decided not to overwatch the Jet Bike and just pray, and it worked. But his Overwatch only killed a single Harlequin, and I got in with a 9. So net result, I lost 2 Harlequins to the Carnifex, so they didn't make invuln saves, but I did 4 wounds to him in combat. I did kill the other one with nothing but shooting attacks, so that's pretty good too. And that's about it. I failed to kill the Hive Tyrant with a whole bunch of shots. I didn't even get a single Snapfire shot from my Nightwing. So, turn 4 is on its way. Top of turn 4, the Hormigons kind of just piled up around the objective. The Exocrine Tyrannofex came over and shot at, then charged my Wave Serpent and wrecked it with a smash attack. Hive Tyrant turned around and shot at my Nightwing, blew it up. The what's it called? Tyrannocyte shot at and killed one of my jet bikes, but the other one's still alive, and he's got the Zephyr Glaive with 1 wound. What else? Exocrine shot at the jet bikes, and I made all my Jinx saves because Full Issue's Blade is a great formation. Warriors, same thing on that guy. My Harlequins finished off the Carnifex. The Shadow Seer did it herself with her Misstaff, and then the Solitaire did 2 wounds on the Warrior, took nothing in return, and then hit and ran out to go take on the Exocrine next turn. So, bottom of turn 4 coming up. Let's see if I can't do some damage and try to kill some of that stuff over there with 1 wound left with some lucky shots. Bottom of turn 4, this game continues just to be crazy. My Harlequins moved in here, and I tried to finish off the Tyrannocyte with the Death Gesture shots. I got one in there, Tyrannofex, my bad. He got 1 shot in, I rendered it, but he made a save from the building, so he's still alive with 1 wound. Hive Tyrant I couldn't even see, that's not good. Over here though, the Solitaire and one of the jet bikes charged in on the Exocrine and finished him off and took no damage in return. I did take an Overwatch wound on the Solitaire, so he's down to 1. That Death Gesture finished off the 2 Warriors in here, which these 2 jet bikes were going to come after, but he got some lucky shots to recover. And the last Warrior in here was killed with Shards of Light from the Shadow Seer in my Psychic phase, and they also have Stealth and Shrouding up as well. So they're going to get a 2-up cover in those woods, and they're going to need it. So we're going to move into turn 5, and I need to survive a little bit longer. All right, here we are at the top of turn 5. The Tyrannocyte came out of here and shot at, I'm sorry, is that not Tyrannocyte? Tyrannofex used its Flamer attack and killed a whole bunch of my Harlequins, but I managed to make enough invuln saves to keep 3 of them alive. The Tyrannocyte shot its Death Spitters, or whatever they were. What are they, Death Spitters? Yeah, Death Spitters. But my 2-up cover from myself and Shrouded was really, really helpful right there. He was out of range to shoot anything else, so he didn't do anything. And that was it. So not a whole lot went on this turn. We're going to move into bottom of 5, see if I can't get really super shenanigan-y and snake the game and then hope I get a turn 5 win. Bottom of turn 5, I'm trying to get good old 5th edition Eldar turn 5 shenanigans working here. One of my jet bikes turbo boosted onto the objective. My Harlequins used Shards of Light and killed a whole bunch of the Hormagaunts. I killed some more with my Haywire Blasters, so they actually broke and are running away off the objective, which is all a part of the plan. These 3 Harlequins shot at and then charged the Tyrannocyte, killed it, and then consolidated a little closer. I'm not comfortable with the Tyrannofex sitting back there being able to torrent me still, but we'll see if it comes into play. That jet bike just turbo boosted over here to grab that objective because why not? And that Solitaire came out of hiding to grab the objective there. If the game ends, he's definitely going to die. But Jared's going to roll right now. 1 or 2, game ends. No, it's going to go on to turn 6. The slugfest continues. All right, here's the entirety of turn 6. These Hormagaunts regrouped, came around here, and then got shot at by, or psychicked again with Shards of Light by the Shadow Seer. The Tyrannofex only killed 1 of my Harlequins with his Flamer attack. I tried to get him with my Neuro Disruptor. He's only got 1 wound left, and I missed. That sucked. But both my jet bike squads are technically holding the objective. They're both 3 inches away. 2 squads, I kind of split it up so he's going to have a hard time getting the grabbing that objective from me if the game goes into turn 7. The Hive Tyrant right there did finish off the Solitaire in the top of 6. It was way too many wounds for me to save. Death Gesture came into the woods and tried to shoot at him, but failed. So right now, we're going to roll to see if the game ends. The game ends on a 1, 2, or 3. It's my turn to roll, and it's a 2. So the game is going to end. What was your objective?
I had Emperor's Will.
Emperor's Will, so did I. We both had the same objective. So I am holding this one. Nobody's holding that one because the Hive Tyrant is flying. So that gives me the primary. I win 5 points for primary. I'm also holding... Oh, you were holding 1 objective there. I'm holding 1 objective here, so that's a draw. So that's a wash. So none of us got the Crusade objective, so I'm still up 5, 6 from my First Blood to your 1 for getting Slay the Warlord.
I have Line Breaker.
Oh, they're running. They're running, so they don't score anything. So no line breaker, yeah. So the good guy, yeah, they're in the zone, but they're running away. They're fleeing. They don't care. So final game, a Harlequins win. This was unbelievable. Jared has 4 wounds left on the table. 4 wounds on the table. Tyranids has 1. Hive Tyrant's got 1. He's got 2 Hormagaunts.
And you have 5.
I have 2 jet bikes with 1 wound apiece. The Shadow Seer has 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for my Death Jester. I have 6 wounds left on the table. Insane. But that's why we play 40k, and that's why we play the game. He thought that I was gut punching him in the first round with that Psychic Shriek attack, and then same thing happened to me at the bottom of the turn. This was one just knockout punch after the other, and it was all about who could outlast the other. And finally, Jetbike Eldar Trickeration from 5th edition comes back to win the day. So at the moment, I think the campaign games are a draw. I think the Forces of Evil won 1 game, and the Forces of Good, that would be me today, won 1 as well. So we are splitting. It all depends on what Jeff and Jacob do, and then Jerry and Dave in the back are playing again as well. So final results for the campaign are going to be on our Facebook page. Please join the group, like us, join the discussions, check out the blog, subscribe. We hit over 2,000 subscribers last week to our YouTube channel, so I'm real proud of that. But that's it. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for Food Hammer news, guys. We're actually going to start kicking Food Hammer into gear now that it's August. So stay tuned.